Well, good morning. Good morning. I should sing every morning. I'm so happy. Woo! Practice test number 5. Okay, this is the last one that we have that we've made. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know what I'm going to say. Hey, if you want these, and you want these in a nice organized fashion, and you can download them at www.nkinfinity.com. Just click over here, and you can get them for free. Just go to review, and eventually, and there we are. I've already finished up through 4. Here, you can click on blank test 5. How you should do these. Try these on your own. Print them. Print them. Yes, I know it's a lot of printing, but it's good work for you. Print them. Then, check your answers. Okay, if you don't know how I arrived at these answers because they're just circled like this, come here. Then you should be watching this video. You should not be watching this video, especially now that we're on test 5. Go through test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably the better of the 5. This is probably the best of the 5, I think. Then come here and watch me, okay? Make sure, though, you have some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It helps. No, you're too young. Don't drink coffee. All right, kids. What are we going to do? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, on this question right here, I would take my calculator. Let's see, like 7 and 3/2 and -3 and things like that, right? So let's go. I'm just going to show you how I would go about doing this. 3 stow x. Let's see if 3x. Let's see if 3 works. So the equation is, I'm going to look down on my sheet of paper. Sorry if I'm not looking at you. Don't get offended. 3x plus 25. You're probably on your phone anyway. 3x. Get off your phone. We're working here. My goodness. You kids and your phones. It's crazy. Crazy. Cray. Yes. Last night I got 9 hours of sleep. I don't think I've got 9 hours of sleep I don't even know the last time I got 9 hours of sleep. Crazy. And I got up at 5. You can only imagine one time I went to bed last night. -5. This is how I would do the problem test day. Maybe, what the heck. And then the other side is 3 control division 3 over x, which is not going to work because that's just 1. So I know 3 does not work. So anything with a 3 in it, of course there was no 3. It was a -3. That's weird. I thought it was a -3. So -3 control var x. You know what? It doesn't really matter because the hardest part is just typing these stupid things in. I didn't even have to type that in. This is -1. -1, -1. So -3 works. So anything that doesn't have a -3 in it's got to go. All right, so it's either got to be 7/2 or -7/2. I'm going with 7/2. I'm going to try 7/2. So 7 divided by 2, control var x, enter. Hit the up arrow. Oh, shit. Shoot. Sorry about swearing there. Okay, so that didn't work. So let's try 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2. Control var x. Enter. Ding, 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 ding. This one's 1. That's 6/7. How can they both be 6/7? All right, something's not right here. Hold on. So -7 divided by 2. Oh, I did already -7 divided by 2. Man, this is what happens, I guess, when you get too much sleep. -7 divided by 2. Let's try that one. So now I'm going to do the left side, which is this. I get -6/7. There we go. I think this is going to work now. -6/7. All right. So I know it's -7/2. So the answer is 4. Now, that was a pain in the neck, quite honestly, but so is the math in some respects. All right, so let's see how we're going to do this one. The math behind this one is to find the common denominator. The lowest common denominator is x plus 7. Don't be that juvenile mind that just thinks it's x plus 7. It's x plus 7. So this one is missing an x. So I have to multiply this one by x. So I get 3x squared plus 25x all over x plus 7. Now this one I'm going to do minus, I'm going to do plus, and then we'll put the -5 here. And this one's missing both, an x and an x plus 7. But I've decided to put that I decided to put that negative up in the numerator with the 5 because lots of time people make mistakes and they forget about that negative, and you really forget that you're going to actually have to distribute that negative to all that stuff. Equals, and this one's missing an x plus 7. So yeah, this problem is sort of a pain in the neck. We don't need the denominators anymore. So 3x squared plus 25x minus 5x squared minus 10x equals 3x plus 21. Woo. Oh, wait, that's not a 2. That would have been a bad mistake. This is minus 35x. All right, when I distribute to here, I thought that was a 2. That's my bad penmanship. All right, so what I have here on this side, let me just get this negative 3. You should question my ability when I do 3 minus 5 and get negative 3. Negative 2x squared minus 10x equals 3x plus 21. Let's see. I'm going to bring everything to the right side. 0 equals 2x squared plus 13x plus 21. Since I already know the answers, I'm going to simply cheat a little bit. 2x and x. Well, actually, this factoring is pretty tough. Let me show you how to use the calculator to remind you how to use the calculator. I can go menu, algebra, 3. Menu, algebra. And then for the TI Inspire, it's menu 331. For this one, it's Poly Tools. And then find roots of a polynomial. So it's a second degree polynomial. You type in the equation 2, 13, 21. Something's not right there, kids. Oh, negative 3 and negative 7 over 2. There they are. So what I get there is if x equals negative 3 is an answer, x plus 3 was a root. And if x equals negative 7 over 2, notice the 2 comes out front here. And that's why this is 2 here plus 7. So those are my two answers. That's the right way to do it. And I used the calculator to cheat a little bit. Okay, that was a tough question. Man, starting out with a hard one. We're going to have fun. Which statement is true? Which statement is true? Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Well, clearly h of x is an even function because it's pointing up. So h of x is even. And then f of x, g of x is equal to f of x plus 1. And take a little pause there. I misread the question. So g of x is equal to f of x plus 1. Okay, so let's take a look at f of x. There's two things I want you to know about f of x. F of x kind of looks like this, right? Is this the sine curve? That's one thing of the sine curve. Take a look at it this way. Up and down, right? That's one cycle of sine curve. Which one goes up and down in opposite directions? That's an odd function. Also, odd functions are symmetrical around the origin. So odd functions are also called symmetry with the origin. So, right, there's the symmetry with the origin right there. So, f of x is odd. G of x is just f of x pushed up a little bit. So yes, f of x and g of x are both odd, while h of x is even. It had to be either 1 or 3. So, let's move on. The total area of a parallelogram is that which of the following best represents the length of the base if the height is this? Well, I guess the one thing you need to remember is that a parallelogram, this is the height, and this is the base, and the area is equal to base times height. So this is a fancy way of getting you to do long division. I just have to see how many times that divides into that. So 4x minus 5 divided into 4x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus 14x squared plus 33x minus 35. Holy crap. I'm going to bet there's an easy way to do this problem. How many times is 4x squared going to, or 4x going to 4x cubed? That's just x cubed. So, gone. That one don't work. So, let's see. 4x to the fourth minus 5x cubed minus and plus. This is 8x squared minus 14x. This is my 8x cubed. 4x squared. So how many times is 4x going to 8x cubed? That's going to be plus 2x squared. We're done. Now I could keep going, but if I keep going, I'm just going to end up with that parabola. But once I've gotten there, I've checked the first one, then I checked the second one. There we go. There's the answer. I mean, I don't want to belabor it. I certainly could go through it. 8x cubed minus 10x squared. Gonna say minus plus. This is minus 4x squared and whatever. Let's just keep going. There's the answer. The solution of this and this are what? Ooh, see how we got imaginaries? I'm gonna guess we're gonna have some imaginaries. My guess is it's down to 1 or 3. This 2 is a problem. So I'm going to multiply everything through by 2. Multiply this side by 2 and multiply this side by 2. So on this side, actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. So this is negative x squared equals negative 12x plus 40. I'm going to bring the x squared over. Multiply to 40 and add up to 12. That ain't going to happen, so it's definitely not. Oh, I knew it wasn't going to be factorable. None of those would be factorable. So let's leave the 40. Let's do it by completing the square. It'll be easier. X squared minus 12x plus square equals negative 40 plus square. X minus 6. That means squared, we're going to put 36 in here and 36 in here. This looks like a problem I put on my spiral. Minus 4. So now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And when you introduce the square root, you must put a plus or minus. And I get x minus 6 equals plus or minus 2i. Bring the 6 over in front, so it's positive 6 plus or minus 2i. That's what I think is the right answer. Now, again, I'm going to use my calculator to cheat. 6 plus 2i, control var x, enter. Now I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to put it in exactly as it appears. Negative 1 divided by 2 times x squared. Bam. And now I'm going to put the left side in. Negative 6x plus 20. Shabam. Notice that they're exactly the same. I didn't actually have to go through all this work. I could have just tested the answers. But you need to learn how to do them because part 2s are going to require work. Holy crap. This test looks like it's a lot of fun. By fun, I mean really freaking hard. All right, you notice that, let's see. We're going to do the same thing here with that we did in the last one, I think. Oops, let me get rid of that one. And that is I'm going to look for the lowest common denominator, which is t squared. And I'm going to multiply both sides by t squared. So on the left side, I get t squared minus 6 equals t. Because on this side, again, remember, we're going to distribute t squared to here gives me t squared. T squared to here, the t squareds cancel, and I just get 6. And here, 1t cancels, and I get just t. Bring the t over, I get t squared minus t minus 6 equals 0. Factor that sum going up. I get t minus 3, t plus 2. Choice 1. All right. Which statement is incorrect for the graph of the function? Ooh, man, that's a son of a go. Man, the period is pi over 6. Let me show you what this problem should look like. Well, if I distributed that pi over 3, I'd have pi over 3 times x minus 4 pi over 3 plus 7. So this is where I'm going to get my period from. Period is equal to 2 pi over b, and b is pi over 3. So if I multiply by the reciprocal, I get 2 pi over 1 times 3 over pi. The pi's cancel, and I end up with 6. So the period is definitely 6. The amplitude is 3. That's true. I don't care that this is a negative. The negative has nothing to do with it. It's the number in front, 3. The range is 4 to 10. The range is 4 to 10. Well, here's what we got to do. Remember, range is defined as max to min, right? And there is a flashcard for this. By the way, if you haven't gotten the flashcards, make sure you get the flashcards. Go to NK Infinity. Go to the review site. Show you real quick. Right on top here. There's some directions on how to get flashcards. So make sure you get those flashcards, okay, kids? Max is defined as C plus A, and min is defined by C minus A, where C is the midline. 7 plus 3 is 10. 7 minus 3 is 4. There's the max and min for the sine curve, so the range is definitely this. The midline is not negative 4. The midline is 7. Oh, man, they're just trying to mess with you. So anyway, you get y equals 2 sine theta plus 3. So that, and you'll see that that is all of these. Well, okay. So first of all, you don't do f of y. That doesn't even make any sense. So now we're down to these. Now, if you're an untrained person, you'll say, oh, it's f of x, but it's not f of x because this is our independent variable. So it has to be choice 4, f of theta. Well, that's a weird question. I haven't seen one like that in a while. All right, a, b, and c are all positive real numbers. So if a is positive, so here's the thing. You have to figure out the degree of this polynomial. Well, it's obviously odd, and if I multiply x times x squared, I get, what do I get? I get x cubed, right? I get x cubed. And I have a negative a out front, so this is going to give me negative ax times x squared. So that is negative x cubed. So I want one where we have a negative. So this one is out because it's positive, and this one is out because it's positive. So now I got to figure out how can I differentiate between these three. Well, here's one way to do it. I'll show you 2 ways to do it. One way is to do it is this way. If this is going to give you a root, right? What would that root be? If b is positive, that root would be x equals negative b, right? That would be the root. So I'm looking for something that goes through negative b, right there. The other way to do it, well, the other way to do it is actually much harder. The other way to do it is to show that if you multiply, the constant's going to be b times c squared, which is going to be positive. So b times c squared is going to be positive. But when I multiply through by negative a, it's going to be negative. So that means my y-intercept is going to be negative, which is why this one also has to be true. Woo! That might be one there for putting in some values for a, b, and c, and then just graphing it. Because otherwise that one's, ooh, man, that was a beast of a problem. Which equation represents a parabola with a focus of 0, 4, and a directrix of this? All right, so I'm going to show you how to kind of work through this one. Watch this one. We're going to do this one on the calculator. It's a great check for using the calculator. So let's graph one of them. X squared plus 3. X squared plus 3. Enter. Now, directrix of 0, 4. Yeah, that might be true. And a focus of 0, 4 and a directrix of 2. Actually, that might be the case. So if we go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and Analyze Conics, and we can say, what is the directrix? And you just click on the graph, and the directrix is 11/4. All right, we're done with that one. Red X. Don't need that one anymore. That's not the right answer. Do this again. Negative x squared plus 1. Negative x squared plus 1. Enter. So menu, analyze the graph, conic section. We'll go with directrix. Click on there. Oh, shoot. It was 5/4. That's not it. I think it's the last one, by the way. So I'm just going to put the last one in. Control division x squared over 4 plus 3. Enter. And I'm going to go menu, analyze the graph, conic sections, directrix. Click on there. There's a directrix of 2. Got that. But I also got to check the other part. So menu, I got to check for the focus. Analyze graph, analyze conics, foci. Click on that one, and there's the foci of 0, 4. So that's the right answer. There she rolls, kids. Choice 4. If the terminal side of angle theta is in standard position, if the terminal side of angle theta in standard position passes to the point negative 4, 3, what is the value? All right. Negative 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So I know sine is positive in the second quadrant. Those cannot be right. I came out negative 4. I went up 3. If you don't know this is 5, we've got other issues. Okay? So sine, and here's my theta, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. 3/5 is the answer. That should have been a relatively straightforward one, kids. Well, here we go. We got 2 left. Oops, we got 2 left. It says a study of the annual... Oh, my gosh. These questions, I'm telling you, I have taught these wrong. I even on the last problem, I got to go back and fix one of the last problems. These problems. Okay, so this problem is designed for you to get wrong. There's like almost no chance you're going to get this one right. So, all right, let's talk about this. The annual population of red-winged blackbirds in Fort Mill, South Carolina shows a population, B of t, can be represented by this function. So B of t is equal to 750, I guess we're starting 1.16 to the t. So, wow, and t, this is even the harder part. T represents number of years. And I want something that's going to represent the growth rate, the monthly growth rate. Monthly growth rate. Well, the monthly growth rate for these is, and here's the hard part about this problem. What you need to do, now this is not compounding monthly. This is the thing that I got a little bit messed up in my own life. I got to get myself straightened out about this. Is it's not compounded monthly. It is a monthly growth rate. Now I can go into the mathematics of it all, but basically this thing is representative of the entire year's growth, and it just seems like an overly complicated problem. So what you end up having to do is we don't want this. What we want is the 12th root of this, believe it or not. So what we're going to do, and I'm not sure why this is even on a test, but we're going to raise this to the 1/12th power. Now what that really in effect does is if we start the year out at 1, and this is like January 1, and at December 1, or December 31st, I want to be at 1.16. So 1.0 to 1.16. Well, each month is like a 12th of whatever. I'm not even sure I can explain this one to you the right way. And so what I need you to understand is, because this is not compounded monthly and I want the monthly rate, I got to raise this to the 1/12th power. But by doing that, what you end up with getting is, first of all, these ones are not going to be right, because this is a yearly interest rate, not a growth interest rate. And 1.16 to the 1/12th power, if you do that on your calculator, 1.16 raised to the 1 divided by 12 will be 1.02. 1.012. 1.012. 1.012. So if it was just months, you would just put T here. If T was in months, you'd put T here. But T represents years, and this is a monthly rate. So if T was like, let's say, 3 years, then you would have to do 12 times 3, because you can't have months here or years here and months here. So this needs to be converted to months. The way you convert that to months is by multiplying by 12. So that is the answer right there. Man, I hope we don't see one like that. The key thing is, make sure when you're talking about yearly interest rates and we go to monthly interest rates, you're not fooled by using these. Okay. This one, however, was an incredibly easy question. If you draw in the line, or in this case, the curve of best fit, you end up with something that looks like that. It's not a straight line. A straight line would be something like this. So it's not exponential, because exponential would look something like this or something like this. Growth, decay. Linear, it's not linear, it would look like a straight line. Power regression, we're not worried about that. It is a logarithmic regression. It is a simple, you know that the log curve looks like that. And if you don't remember, go over to your graphing calculator and graph a log curve. Just graph, control log base 10 of x. Just to remind yourself, oh yeah, that's what a log curve looks like. Oh yeah, this is a log function. This is a log curve. Okay, that's it. That's the end of 1 through 12. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. And keep studying, keep working hard. So have you got my flashcards? Get the flashcards. www.nkinfinity.com. Check out the flashcards.